Stand by, recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to EHCTV. I'm Abby Hathorn.
And I'm Khalil King. Welcome back to the first episode for the new year and the new semester. Abby, congratulations on your new position at ETSU. Can you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got into grad school with a full paid ride. I'm pretty excited about it. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I'm excited to pursue that after school, so at least I know what I'm doing after I graduate in May.
That's awesome. Now, you're going to be teaching a class as well?
Yeah, I'm also going to be teaching a communications class at ETSU as well, which will be pretty cool, very good experience. So who do you have on the show with you today?
I have the one and only Coach Wilson from the men's basketball team, so I'm really excited about that. Who do you have today?
I have on set with me today Xavier Marshall. We're going to talk about studying abroad and just kind of like being a senior and getting ready to graduate. It's coming faster than we think.
Awesome. Personal favor, maybe ask him a little about his YouTube channel. I can, take in all the tips.
He's a fellow YouTuber, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, well, we will now swing it over to Will Seidel with the news.
Welcome back. I'm Will Seidel bringing you today's news update. Excuse me. First off, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Also, I hope everyone had a wonderful MLK Junior Day. With that being said, let's get to it. Emory and Henry has hired Jennifer Pierce to be the college's first ever Vice President of Marketing and Communications. Pierce will lead the college's effort of marketing, communications, public relations, branding, advertising, social media, graphic designs, internal communications, web operations, as well as help out at 90.7 WEHC radio station. Congratulations to Emory's very own Chloe Coulter, who will take part in a new 12-track album called 1927 Jubilee. Artists taking part in this album. 1927 Jubilee. Artists taking part in this album are Carson Peters and Iron Mountains, Tuatha Dia, Richie Owens and the Farm Bureau, 49 Winchester, and the Fritz Company. But the most recognizable artist of all this is Dolly Parton. The project is being produced by Stephen Schnoker and John McLaughlin of Middle Forks Records. Once again, congratulations to Chloe on this incredible honor. Well, that's going to do it all for me. Not much going on campus right now, but we will have more for you next week. If you have anything you would like to share with me to broadcast, you can email me at waseidel16@ehc.edu, or you can tweet me at thelastwill10. I'm Will Seidel, and this has been the News Update. We'll see you next time.
Hello and welcome to this feature interview. I'm Abby Hathorn. On set with me today I have senior Xavier Marshall to talk about not only studying abroad and his up-and-coming YouTube channel, but also just what it's like being a senior as we get ready to graduate. So welcome to the set today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, we're both seniors. We're both getting ready to graduate. What are your feelings right now about that?
Well, for me right now, being a senior, I'm really thinking about grad schools and finding the time and also get the money to pay for applications and making sure I'm hitting deadlines I need to hit while also getting my senior project done and everything I have to handle on campus, such as schoolwork.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful. So what are you doing for your senior project and like how does that work with your major?
So right now I'm working with a fellow at Virginia Tech and we're working on basically kind of chemical, we're using like biocatalysis, so we're using like known biomechanisms and we're trying to manipulate them to get to make molecules that we want. So I'm going up there twice a week to Virginia Tech to get that done. And hopefully that's going to give me kind of the background I need to get into grad schools and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Where are you looking into anywhere specific for grad school or like specific kind of studies that you want to do?
Well, yeah, so right now I'm hopefully looking for like a one-year master's program and hopefully something in biomedical sciences. My plan is to apply to medical school, but a big thing in medical school and kind of anything science related, you have to do research and I haven't had a lot of that and need more. So hopefully my research project gives me those skills I need so that I can apply it to get into med school.
Yeah, exactly. And part of being a senior is like making sure you're prepared for like how do you actually approach that next step. So studying abroad, I've never studied abroad, but where did you go and maybe like how was that experience for you?
So I went to Ecuador for one semester and it was a phenomenal experience. I mean, I also had an internship at a health clinic that was all Spanish speaking and I feel that being around Spanish every day, not just in a classroom setting or like kind of like set, you know how you're in a Spanish class and today you're going on for airport vocabulary. It was like everyday vocabulary you have to use and like if I wanted to eat that day, I would have to use some vocabulary, you know, so it was kind of really important.
Yeah, so was the internship kind of the push to go to Ecuador or was there other things that you kind of had in mind too with that, choosing that abroad trip?
Gotcha. Well, The internship was what got me to go. You're absolutely correct. It was the internship. All the programs, there were ESL programs, study abroad programs, normally focus on, of course, learning Spanish. But more of it's teaching ESL also. I wanted to focus on learning Spanish, but also being able to, be in a healthcare setting, because that's what I was going there for. And that program best suited me and my needs.
Okay. And so you have a YouTube channel.
I
and
do.
We all kind of know about it. It's up and coming. It's okay. Even my co-host has one. So what's kind of like, what inspired you to start that on top of, doing all this science and medical stuff?
So actually it started off with my family was so worried when I was studying abroad, especially my grandmother. She really didn't want me to study abroad, and I was like, just relax. I'll send you pictures. Everybody in my family was worried. I'll send you guys pictures every day. And I was like, you know what? No, I'll post videos to Facebook. And I was like, you know what? Let me just start a YouTube channel so they can all just see it. So I started making YouTube videos about my days in Ecuador and kind of just giving them updates. And I was like, I'm just going to keep doing this and just see where it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the works right now trying to figure things out, but that's where it started.
So what are you kind of doing with it now that you're back in America and back on campus?
So now I'm trying to use the platform to kind of educate people on my experiences in college. As of right now, I'm talking about like my experiences and things I did wrong, things I did right, and just my everyday. I'm just kind of like build like a memoir kind of thing of just like every day in college and stuff like that.
Yeah. So far, is it going well? Are you like talking to other people, or is it just more about like you and your experiences and trying to like reach out to, especially these freshmen? Like they don't know what it's like as
Exactly.
being a senior.
So like honestly, it's for the videos I've made are just for people who are like I made tips on video on how to study. I feel like anybody, and no matter where you are, if you're in middle school, at high school, I think that video would help you out. And I just make content for anybody, and no matter what level you are.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of advice can you give to, especially these kids are not seniors, about going into that senior year and getting ready for, because the things that you do prior to your senior year obviously help you. So what are some kind of advice that you can give to those lower classmen?
I think the biggest advice is to have a set schedule and know what your plans are and how you're going to execute your plans, and then don't procrastinate on those plans. When you start procrastinating, you start making dumb mistakes and you start falling behind, and that's when just things come into chaos. So procrastination and organization is key.
Yeah. And so, with studying abroad, not everybody has to, but it's a big deal at Emory. What's some advice that you can give to students like trying to like pick where they want to study abroad, or like how to go about that, because it is scary being away from your family for that long.
I feel like the program you should choose should be a program where, one, you're going to, your intended purpose. If you're going to do a language, make sure you're going to a region where you're actually doing that language. And also choose a program where you're going to have some things to do around town. Don't go to some just secluded area. You want to have fun and, go around and do fun things and, really experience the culture. So make sure you're going somewhere that has things to do around there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me
Not
on
a
the show
problem.
today.
Thanks for
It's been
having me.
very good. And now we're going to toss it over to Evan Underwood with this week's sports update.
What up, Was? I'm Evan Underwood with this week's sports update. The men's basketball team had a huge game this past Saturday versus Randolph-Macon, both teams being tied for number one in the conference. The Wasps would come out firing in all cylinders and never look back to take the 75-65 win. Senior forward Chase Branscombe put up a game-high 20 points on 8 for 12 shooting and nearly made it a double-double with 9 rebounds. Junior forward Alec Wynn notched a double-double with 10 points and 13 rebounds, while sophomore guard Daniel Spencer had 15 points and 4 boards off the bench. The men are now 16-1 and 8-0 in the conference, and also are ranked 21st in the nation. The women also had a game this past Saturday versus Shenandoah, and would also start off hot and never look back, and would take a 67-46 win to improve to 12-5 on the season and 5-3 in the conference. Sophomore forward Sydney McKinney came off the bench to lead the Wasps with 13 points, 2 rebounds, while sophomore Peyton Williams had 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block. Junior forward Taylor Blevins notched 8 points and 11 rebounds, while sophomore forward Kara Stafford chipped in 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. That's all I have this week for Sports Update. I'm Evan Underwood.
Hello, world. I'm Khalil King, and this is your Sports Update. Today we have with us Coach David Wilson from the men's basketball team. Coach, thanks for coming on today.
Khalil, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. First, I just want to know how you made your way to Emory, and what was your mindset, receiving the team at its then condition? Because we both know they weren't the most winningest team in the ODAC.
Yeah, well, first of all, I decided to get into coaching because I had a great experience as a player. it was very impactful to me, not just because I love basketball and I had the opportunity to do something that I loved, but it impacted my life. I learned a lot of things from that. So that was the main reason I decided to get into coaching over some other career opportunities, and moved through a few different places. I was at William & Mary, Elon University, Furman University. All three were in the Division I level. I learned a lot of things. I grew a lot, and when an opportunity became available at Emory and Henry, I was really excited by it because I played in the ODAC, so I had experience at the Division III level. I had experience in the ODAC, which is one of the best Division III basketball conferences in the country, and I also had awareness of Emory and Henry and just how great of a place this is and how quality the community is, and the fact that it's a great education. And so there were a lot of things that aligned with me, and I felt like would make this a good fit, and I thought it would be a great place to build a program. So those were some of the things that drew me to Emory and Henry, and I would emphasize the fact that it was in the ODAC, which is one of the best conferences in the country, so I knew it would be a great platform for us to try to compete on a national level.
That's awesome. I like how you really bought into the program. Coming from Hampton-Sydney, do you ever kind of get any ties, when you play them? Or there's no sympathy issued?
Yeah, well, there wasn't a lot of sympathy when I first came here, the fact that I was a Hampton-Sydney alum, but I had a good experience there. There's a lot of similarities between Hampton-Sydney and Emory and Henry. There's certainly some differences, but the things that I benefited from as a player and as a student at Hampton-Sydney are things that many of which I hope our players can benefit from here. But I definitely catch some grief for being a Hampton-Sydney alum quite often.
Definitely. You've been here, this is your 5th year, and interesting enough, I've been looking at this over the years that I've known you in this program. You've been able to increase the record each year, putting a lot of pressure on you, especially with the last season where you were named the 3rd most improved team in the world. So how have you been able to do that?
First of all, I haven't made a jump shot or played a possession of defense my whole time here, and that's a good thing. That's one of the reasons we're doing well. The reason we're improving and the reason we're experiencing success is because of our players. Mm-hmm. And it starts there. We've been very fortunate in recruiting to be able to bring in not only some quality players, but some really quality young men. And not only have they worked hard and been very productive on the court, but they've just done a great job of building a positive culture. And it's a culture that encourages growth and development and progress. And that's what our program has been doing, and I'm really proud of that. You talk about how we've been getting better each year, and we're certainly I think that's the case this year as well, and that starts with our players. They've done a great job of buying into the things that we want to embody here.
That's awesome. You talk about growth and development, and I see where you coached 4 years as an assistant coach at Furman University. Can you kind of tell me some growth and some things you've taken to your head coach position from back in those days?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, I was at William & Mary, Elon, and Furman, and I took something from all of those experiences. It's something that I want our players to do. I want them to take from every experience we have here, and I've been fortunate to do that myself. At William & Mary, I was a part of a program that was at the bottom of the league when I got there. New coach, actually the coach there was my coach in college. And I learned so much from being in a place where, you're kind of fighting to get to where you're competing. And, the expectation levels aren't where they need to be traditionally, and you're trying to improve those types of things. So I learned a lot from that experience at Elon. Same type of situation. We ended up having the best Division I season in school history while I was there, and that was a great learning experience, just seeing the process that it took to get there. And I would say the same thing at Furman. So different coaches, different systems, different programs, and each of those taught me a lot.
That's awesome. Now, time's a little bit critical right now, but for the last question, I know that you got to, in your championship game at Elon, you got to coach against Steph Curry. So can you just kind of tell me what was that experience like?
Yeah, it was very memorable. Really, it wasn't just that game. You know, just being in the same conference as Steph Curry for, I believe it was 3 years of his career. You know, the scout. I had the Davidson scout, so that was not a very fun job. There just wasn't a whole lot you could say about Steph Curry to give your guys an advantage. He was pretty flawless. So it was tough coaching against him, but it was, on the other side, it was so impressive to watch him. The thing that I appreciate the most about Steph Curry was how he just gets better. I mean, each year you think he's as good as he can possibly be, and he finds some way to improve. And I think that's a great lesson for all athletes, is that no matter how good you are, there's always something you can improve, and that's the thing that's impressed me the most about him. But, you know, that championship game was special. We went on a big run in the tournament, the Southern Conference tournament, made it to the finals. That Davidson team made it to the Elite Eight that year. And obviously Steph Curry was a big part of that. It was actually a good game. I think I'm kind of going off the top of my head, but I think we were down by like 6 with like 4 or 5 minutes to go. And we kind of had them on the ropes, and then they came out of a timeout, and you know who hit a big three. And at that point, it kind of went downhill from there. But that was definitely a memory that I'll always cherish. That's
awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with me, and thanks for coming on today.
Khalil, thanks for having me on.
Wish you the best of luck for this season.
Thank you.
See you at the championship.
That's what we're hoping.
And thank you guys for also tuning in. Make sure to tune in next week. I will now pass it over to Will Seidel with the rant.
Sports. We love them. Probably too much for our own good. And I'm a diehard fan. I love and follow my teams like no other. But the one damn thing that gets on my nerves like no other is how these fans, I'm talking crazy fans, go insane when their team loses an important game. I'm talking about these knuckleheads that take their big flat screen TVs that cost them hundreds and hundreds of dollars and smash the living crap out of it. Whether they do it with a baseball bat, or they just punch it, or they just throw it over the balcony, I don't know, whatever the case may be. And it's not just TVs. Sometimes it's doors. It's windows. And I've seen a toilet being smashed before, and it's not a pretty sight. And oh no, it doesn't end there though. Then they record it and post it on social media thinking they are cool or something like that. Sorry, buddy, but if I was dumb enough to smash something that I paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for, and then take my stupidity up a level, probably to an Alabama fan level, and then post it on social media, yeah, roll tide, y'all. Yeah, I probably would apologize to my mom for embarrassing her and my family to kingdom come. But I would probably have a hard time reaching her since she probably cut me off from everything to save the family name. Listen, guys, and please, just listen to me here. I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm a Braves fan. I'm a Redskin fan. I'm a Laker fan. And I'm a Red Wing fan. You get the point. Yeah, tough. You get the point. Yes, I can hear you laughing at me, and I laugh at myself too sometimes. Well, actually, I cry, but then I laugh afterwards to make it look like I'm laughing so hard that I'm crying. You don't see me smashing everything I see, especially very expensive stuff. If I did that, I would be spending probably 10 grand a month just buying new TVs. And I couldn't imagine repairing doors, windows, or toilets for that matter. So please, just settle down. It's a game. If your team loses, it's okay. Life goes on. Just take it from somebody with experience his whole life. Please, trust me, it goes on. I'm Will Seidel, and this is my rant.
Hey everyone, I'm Maddie Gillespie, and welcome to this week's segment of EHCTV's Tweet, Pray, Love. Every week I get on Twitter and post an off-the-wall hashtag topic, and it's up to you, the Emory and Henry community, to come up with information for me to use on the show. With the help of the lovely Tweet, Pray, Love Peanut Gallery, we plan to bring your opinions to the forefront of fame, and yes, that means local TV. This week's topic, in honor of rush sign-up starting this week, is EHC Spring Rush Advice. So, Livy Martis said, go in with an open mind and an even emptier stomach. Yeah. Leilani Tizon said, "Do it for you and no one else." Laura Hay said, "Remember to be yourself and find a group that loves you for you." Katrina Wagner said, "If you need a conversation starter, just tell someone you like their rush dinner costume. Works every time." Emily Bishop said, "Go meet new people and eat good food for $5." That's all we have for you today on Tweet, Pray, Love.
So Abby, I've been going to the PRC grinding because last semester was kind of a wake-up call. I'm getting my scheduling and really focusing on my grades. But you and Xavier have set the bar extremely high for my senior year.
That's good, though. You have to have like a good expectation going into your senior year. Otherwise, it's not going to end up so well. And then you're going to be wondering, am I even going to get to graduate? And that's nothing that anybody ever wants to feel. So
yeah, those questions, I feel like they happen from freshman year to senior year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. But in the end, hopefully we'll both.
Oh, yeah, hopefully it'll all be okay. But that'll be okay. Just make sure you join us next Tuesday for EHCTV. I'm Abby Hathorn.
And I'm Khalil King. See you next week.